For a lot of people, a discard from a narcissist comes out of left field. It did for me. For others, a narcissist will come in and out of their lives, and the victim never really knows when the last time is going to be. We never truly know how permanent a discard is before they decide to hoover, but in this video, I want to talk about some signs that a discard is coming your way and possibly sooner than you think. Number 1, you're being devalued. The second that love bombing ends and that honeymoon is so totally over, the discard could happen. There are several reasons why a narcissist devalues us, and I won't get into all of those here, but once you're not golden, you're garbage, and the narcissist is just looking for the next best thing. You can truly expect a discard at any time after the honeymoon's over. It is nothing more than a matter of time before the narcissist deems someone better than you, and they will try to make that jump. A narcissist running hot and cold is a huge indicator that they're on the prowl for someone new and something else to look out for. They will need to spend more time grooming and catching this new person, but still need to float back and forth with you to keep you on the hook. Somebody running hot and cold is toxic to begin with, whether they're looking for someone else or not. So always look for that indicator and those inconsistencies of toxicity and narcissism. Number 2, they know that you know. Once a narcissist knows that you know who they really are, what they really are, all of their tricks and why they do what they do, the narcissist knows the jig is up. Only a matter of time before you could make a move and walk away. This makes them a little bit scared, to say the least. The narcissist can't risk being the one who's dumped in a relationship. They can't handle that blow to their ego. They're not going to be the one who gets walked away from. Absolutely not. So sometimes once they know that you know what the real deal is, they will immediately discard and jump from the frying pan into the fire and move to another source. Not always a good thing for them. Sometimes they leave and they don't have their prime supply or their first choice to go to. They just have to move on to whoever's available right then and there in the moment because they can't risk getting dumped by you. And this can result in them booking out really fast or just ghosting, but coming back in nothing more than a few weeks or few months because things didn't go so hot where they moved on to. And this is what happened in my case. I was ghosted with no warning that anything was coming to an end, and the new supply, lo and behold, did not pan out. And only 3 months later, I was hoovered, so clearly a bad choice was made on the part of the narcissist. Number 3, more fighting. When literally all you do with this person is bicker and argue, the end is so close. The narcissist more than likely is love bombing and grooming their new source, getting ready to make that jump, and they're just barely keeping you hanging on, but they're so over it that all you get is this standoffish, even more so defensive and aggressive, as if those things are possible, kind of person. I want to talk about a few more things that go hand in hand with this a little bit later on in the video. If you'd like to talk with me one-on-one and get some support from a fellow survivor for what you're going through, you can email BookAChatWithJess@gmail.com to set up private chats with me. Number 4, silence. As the relationship breaks down to the point of no return and there's nothing left, silence from the narcissist will begin to happen more frequently, and it will happen over longer periods of time. Most people in long-term relationships with highly narcissistic people will notice that over the months and the years, silent treatments become the prime, prominent little source of punishment, and they will last at first maybe nothing more than a few hours, but as months and years go by, silent treatments can begin to last 1 to 2 weeks at a time, and in some cases even longer, where they don't say a word to you. Even when you live in the same house, they will ignore you for weeks and weeks and weeks. You'll notice that when you would threaten to leave early on in the relationship, they would chase and cry and beg and reach out and try their hardest to keep you. And once time goes on, you'll see they can't be bothered to fight as hard as they used to. Sometimes they can't be bothered at all. They'll seem very checked out, doing even less, as if that's possible, to try and keep you. They'll vanish and take longer to hoover you. They will only hoover so many times before they do just completely give up and move on. When it's fighting or silence, and that's it, there's nothing else, you're very near the edge and the end of the relationship. For now, anyway. Number 5, it just feels like they hate you. A really common sign that things are on the outs and near the end with a narcissist is all of those things they complimented you on when they were love bombing you to death, they now begin to completely disregard and devalue, and it almost seems like they hate those things. They might tell you you have no sense of style, you're some kind of complete fashion reject. But in the beginning, when you were being love bombed, you had great style, you had great taste, you knew what was in, so on and so forth. They might tell you now how stupid you are. But in the beginning, they complimented your cunning and your wit and how quick you were with a good old quippy little response. But now you're just some kind of moron. This can also show itself in the form of huge insecurities. Maybe you've been working hard on yourself and you've lost weight. Hell, maybe they were even an asshole and told you that you needed to lose weight in the first place and you did it because they told you that you needed to. But now that you have, you hear things like, who are you trying to look good for? Trying to get hot so you can find somebody else, huh? Instead of a normal person response like, congratulations, you look great. You've really been working hard. I'm super proud of you. All of a sudden, all of those insecurities come to light. Narcs are always jealous, insecure little creatures, but right when a discard is around the corner, those insecurities can become ever present. I just want to add this in. If you get the feeling that you breathing is bothering them, it's because it is. Always trust your gut and your intuition. That's what it's there for. There are many times when I can just feel and sense that I rub somebody the wrong way. I don't want you to take this personally, survivor. Trust me, it rarely has anything to do with you. When you irritate someone who's toxic, it's usually because you're doing things like working on yourself, maintaining standards and boundaries, calling them out on their bullshit, standing up for yourself, and so on. And if that is why someone doesn't like you, if that is why you rub somebody the wrong way, that's just fine. I hope you adopt that exact same philosophy, survivor, because it's the same one I have. You probably just don't like me because I won't put up with your bullshit, and I know all about you. Number 6, it just feels like it's over. I want to tie in what I talked about in number 3 here when I discussed basically all you do is fight or there's silence between the two of you. When all you do is fight, you will definitely get the feeling that there is absolutely nothing left to do and things are over. I've talked about my own experiences before and I've shared that I very much got that feeling that the relationship was dead in the water, but I was unable to pull that trigger and walk away. I can't stress this enough. Listen to your intuition. I have been able to walk away from douchebags now in my current frame of mind because I listen to myself. I know when I've had enough. I know when it's time to cut things off, and I know when it's time to move on with my life. If you're getting the feeling that it's done, and like me, it probably was done quite a while ago. A discard might be in the near future, but I encourage you to be the one who walks away. I always highly encourage every survivor still in their relationship to walk away. Even if you didn't walk away yesterday, fear not, you can do it today before it becomes tomorrow. If you're a survivor who is now out of their relationship with a toxic person, I ask you to please leave some kind words of encouragement in the comments for other survivors to read. Show your support and let others know that we are always here for them. Myself and many other amazing people here on YouTube are always here for support. Thanks so much for listening. Please subscribe if you haven't. It really would mean the world to me. Have a great day, survivor, and take care of yourself.